Welcome to another Surf Dudes video. So in this video what we're looking at is the 10 top tips to surfing. Okay, so this is for older beginner surfers, tips to speed up your progress. Right, okay, so I'm going to just jump straight into it and we'll get into it. So surfing tip number 1, do not go for a hardboard straight away, get a big softboard. So someone height is about 6 foot, weighing about 90 kilograms, an 8 to 9 foot foamy will be perfect. This means that you can paddle quicker and also it's more stable in the water, and if it hits someone or it hits yourself, then it's not going to do as much damage. So tip number 1, definitely go for a softboard, get a nice big board. You can check out our guide on what size foamy you should go for. You can click the cheat sheet, I'll put it all into the description below the video. Okay, so surfing tip number 2, center yourself on the board. Okay, so you need to be centered on the board. Usually your toes are just on the back of the tail of the board, but what you're looking for here is not for the board not to be back in the water, but not also to be too low. So I generally look for about 3 to 5 centimeters. The nose should be out the water. You should be centered on the stringer of the board. So that's the center line of the board. You should be right in the middle of that. Keep your legs close together. Keep everything as centered as you can, and this will keep the board planing really nicely when you paddle. So definitely center yourself on the board. So paddle. It's all about the paddle. 95% of your time you are paddling in the water, you're not catching waves. So you need to be strong, you need to have a nice clean paddle style, you need to be paddling enough. This is the biggest mistake that people make. So my tip to you is paddle, paddle, paddle. So when you're paddling for that wave, when that wave starts to pick you up, put 3 to 5 or extra paddles into it until you feel the wave grab you. It will be, you'll know it straight away, you'll feel that rush down the wave. At that point you can pull your chest up to level the board out a little bit, pop up within 1 second to 2 seconds. Probably 2 is a bit too many, but depends on the bigness of the wave, how big the wave is. So we're talking about 1 second up and you're off. Okay, put those extra paddles in. The thing I see all the time is people start to paddle, they're in the perfect position, the wave's got them, they stop paddling, then the wave just goes straight past them. It happens all the time. So my tip is to paddle. Right, so surfing tip number 4, know your limits. Never go into the water if the waves are too big for you. Okay, now you've got to develop, but you can develop slowly. So if you're going in with 2 to 4 foot waves and you can comfortably handle those, then go into maybe 3 to 4 foot waves or 3 to 4.5 foot waves. When you can do that comfortably, go to 4 to 5 foot waves. Again, work your way up. Do not go straight out from a 3 foot wave that you can handle into like 7 foot waves or even 6 foot waves. The actual power between the waves, you wouldn't think much, but from a 4 foot wave to a 6 foot wave pretty much doubles the power. So you've got to be very careful. Now it depends on how quick the waves are coming in, but some of those waves are really powerful, and if it's over your limit you can have some serious problems, okay, such as drowning. All right, so always know your limits is tip number 4. Okay, so tip number 5 is if you're a beginner, stay between the black and white flags. Okay, so you definitely want to be on a lifeguarded beach and you want to stay between those black and white flags in case you run into any problems. All right, so surfing tip 6 is to go down the line or along with the wave, paddle at a slight angle to the beach. Okay, so if a wave's coming along and you want to go down the line, it can really help you rather than aim straight at the beach. When you get picked up, if you're trying to go down the line, you're going to have to get up on the board and then you're going to have to put turn in straight away. So you can avoid this by actually going at a slight angle. Now some people aim straight at the beach and then as the wave grabs them, they just turn or they look where they're going to go. And this is the key. look where you're going to go. If you look down that direction, as soon as you get up, your body and the board will go in that direction. But by angling the board slightly as well, you can create that effect quicker. Okay, so I'm not talking about a massive angle like this. I'm talking about a slight angle. That'll give you enough to shoot off down that way. Okay, now if you don't know which way you're going to go because you're not sure what's going to happen with the wave, aim straight and then make your decision as you're getting up. So look down the line, jump up, and your body, wherever you're looking, your board and your body will go. Okay, so look down the line. Okay, so surfing tip number 7 is stay low on your pop-up. Why? It gives you more stability and allows you to uncompress yourself for speed. So pop up, knees nicely bent. As you hit that bottom turn and come back up the wave, you can extend and take yourself back up, turn the board, compress, and repeat that process going down the line. Okay, so legs, knees bent. Okay, right, so surfing tip number 8. When you go down the line, try moving up and down it by looking and twisting your torso and arms. So this is basically from the other. So you should be going like this. You should be trying to keep in that top area of the wave where the most power and most speed is going to be generated from. And you should be trying to go up and down it by looking and twisting around it. Slight movements on your toes, on your heels, on your toes, on your heels, always looking to get those places, and that will generate speed for you going along. Do it very slowly first. As soon as you get the feel for it, you'll be able to push it further and you'll be able to gain more speed. Again, this also depends on how steep the wave is and these sort of things, but generally that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to pump along the wave. Okay, so surfing tip number 9 is stretch and warm up and down before and after surfing to avoid injuries. So guys, you need to warm up. You need to do those stretches before you get in the water. You need to, when you come out the water from surfing, just stretch out those muscles a little bit to cool down before you head off home. It's really important for your safety. So surfing tip number 10, watch other surfers and see where they are lining up. See how they are moving up and down the wave. This is really important. You think one of the tips would not actually be covering surfing, but it is. It's actually looking at the sea. Watch what the waves are doing. This might be before you go in the water. So look what the waves are doing. Is it breaking in one area? Is it breaking in one direction? Are they right-handers? Are they left-handers? Is there any kind of point breaks where stuff's coming across? Where are all the surfers hanging out? Is there any areas that are quieter that have just as good waves that these pack of surfers haven't seen? Is there any rips going on? And when the surfers are on the wave, what are they doing? How are they moving themselves? It's worth spending a few hours just going to the beach and just maybe photographing them or just watching what they're doing. You can learn so much from them to help yourself. And with that in mind as well, it's also really good to get someone else to photograph you or video you, and you can see these mistakes you're making then. Okay, or even someone in the water that's with you. You've got a buddy in the water, he's pointing out things you're doing, you're pointing out things he's doing, you're helping each other and you're pushing each other. So these are my 10 top tips for surfing. So I hope you enjoy them, and I'll see you in the next video.